I'm Amarilys Henderson. I'm a new designer to Moda and I'm excited to be at my first quilt market. I wanted to show you Love and Cheer, a Christmas collection. Let's go. I think I have to start with the panel. I know these are so tempting to look at, but check out this panel. So this artwork was created just for this collection. I paint everything by hand. I love watercolor. So some of the elements in my designs are from previous work simply because I paint all the time. And then I take a look at what I've done and see how it can come together. With Love and Cheer, poinsettias were absolutely necessary. We have to go Christmassy, but I love these birds that I enjoyed incorporating. So I have a love for simplifying subjects with shapes. I love mid-century art, and so this might feel a little reminiscent of that. I feel like you could see these on a children's book, and here, lo and behold, on fabric. And something that makes me so excited is that being a surface designer, I am used to seeing my art on stuff, but I've never seen it represented on fabric so beautifully as with Moda. I don't know how they print it, but it's gorgeous. So the quilt behind me features this panel so beautifully. The spread Love and Cheer, nice in the center. This is a beautiful quilt designed by Lavender and Lime. It's called All is Calm, and it's just a very calming kind of composition. I love that it showcases so many of the designs, and it's really pre-cut friendly. So let's talk about those little squares. It's not as fun to see them as little squares. Let's see them nice and big. This right here is not a poinsettia, it's an amaryllis flower that I'm named after. So yes, I'm named after the amaryllis flower, spelt in Spanish and misspelt, just to keep you on your toes. This print is a little more whimsical with some carnations, kind of keeping it light with the poinsettias and not very detailed. My challenge with creating the berries was to make them flow and yet feel like some are really well rendered and some are not, so that there's this push and pull, this visual tension. You can see on my top, I feel like I'm not really wearing a Christmassy top right now, so that's fun because it's got so many pinks in it. I love me some pinks. Anybody who knows me knows that. But a classic red, of course, we can't do without. And I'm just so proud of how the pinks and the reds go together so nicely. And I'm not supposed to pick favorites, but I would say that this is one of them. This kind of leafy trellis with the birds kind of popping in and out. Look, we hadn't even gotten to pink and I was already talking about it. So our cardinal swoops in and creates kind of this little cadence that floats around. Something that I wanted to accomplish here is some depth in the background. So you have some lighter holly and just some darker holly coming up. I feel like this set that's very focused on the pinks and the reds goes together really nicely and could maybe last a little longer on the tabletop, on the couch, on a quilt, and into January without offending anybody. So I had my mom sew me up some tops, and this is one of them. And I couldn't believe how often I was going towards these watercolor gingham designs just because it feels so basic, but they are just so classic and work so well with so many of the fabrics. So that was fun to be able to use those as coordinates, not have just this regular checker pattern, but to have some texture in something that's already kind of a Christmassy staple, right? A quilt pattern that goes really nicely with this collection is this one right here by Wendy Shepherd. It's called Jollity. Ooh, nice and big. The buffalo check gifts is what has me personally. They just pop up in so many little ho-ho-hos and kind of keep the whole design really nice and consistent. Thanks for flipping through some fabric with me. Everything that I create starts with watercolor paints. So you'll find me at watercolordevo.com, and that way you don't have to search my name and spell it right. That can be tricky. And you can also find me on socials at watercolordevo. I'm Amarilys, and I'm so happy to be here with you. I hope that you have some happy sewing times with a lot of love and cheer.